Multiple safes broken into, drawers ripped open, closets ransacked, boxes of...
What the feds just uncovered in Floyd Mayweather's house is terrifying. They're going after Floyd Mayweather's bag. Remember the brother that walked around with $100 million check in his bag, said he ain't even got to cash it? Well, they on his line.
In a stunning revelation, the FBI has reportedly uncovered what's being called a $420 million scam involving none other than Floyd Money Mayweather. Agents raided his Las Vegas mansion, unearthing evidence of large-scale financial manipulation, fraudulent investments, and suspicious overseas accounts, shaking the foundation of the retired boxing legend's extravagant empire. What really sent shockwaves through the public, though, was ESPN's most outspoken personality, Stephen A. Smith, who delivered a fiery, unfiltered, and brutally honest reaction that perfectly captured the mood of the nation.
I'll show you a couple toys. They call this the $1 million garage.
I know we're on television, Floyd, but I think it's necessary for me to say, damn.
Well, you know, we are on ESPN. These are sports cars. It's a sports network. This car costs $3.2 million. This Bugatti right here costs $1.6 million. You ain't seen these toys?
I haven't seen these?
No.
What? Floyd, this is 7 cars, man. Silver, platinum, Miami, black LA, white Vegas.
Yeah, in New York, I got my drivers.
Reports quickly surfaced, revealing that the raid was part of a much larger investigation into an elaborate financial scheme involving shell companies, cryptocurrency laundering, and bogus investment ventures allegedly tied to Floyd Mayweather's inner circle. Hey, what's up, everyone? Check this out. Earlier this morning, I was walking through Beverly Hills and passed by Floyd Mayweather's $30 million mansion. The place is massive, over 15,000 square feet, with 6 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, and a resort-style backyard. According to sources close to the situation, the FBI seized dozens of electronic devices, financial documents, records of offshore banking activity, and even encrypted ledgers. Authorities estimate that the total amount under investigation could reach up to $420 million, all linked to suspected financial fraud.
Hey, what's up, everybody? So check it out. This morning, I was walking through Beverly Hills, and I passed by Floyd Mayweather's $30 million mansion. It's over 15,000 square feet with 6 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, resort-style backyard.
While Floyd Mayweather has long showcased his money team lifestyle, complete with private jets, Bugattis, diamond chains, and vaults of cash, federal agents now suspect that part of this extravagant wealth may have been built or maintained through illegal means. In a shocking twist, some of the seized documents reportedly indicate that Mayweather may have either knowingly invested in or been used as the public face of fraudulent investment schemes that scammed thousands of people, many of them in international markets.
To my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me.
Stephen A. Smith has seen firsthand the extravagant lifestyle Floyd Mayweather lives, from his sprawling mansion and fleet of luxury cars to his private jet. Smith is no stranger to Floyd's financial success, having closely followed the boxer's rise both in and out of the ring. His direct exposure to Mayweather's wealth gives him a rare insight into the empire Floyd has built, allowing Smith to offer a unique perspective on the athlete's business savvy, discipline, and approach to managing money.
How much is it?
$1.8 million.
$1.8 million watch.
$1.8 million, dude?
You're the first to see it.
That's insane. That
1.8 is high. 18 life.
happy birthday, champ.
That's how we doing.
1 point. That is sick, dude.
But you gotta show them what it's saying.
Money green.
No,
Hold on. This watch was made specifically for the champ, Floyd Money Mayweather. 101 piece.
Oh, let's see the back.
One of one.
Money team.
Can we see it on him?
Yes, sir.
That one of one.
$1.8 million.
I think it's a one of one. I love that.
What gives even more weight to Stephen A. Smith's passionate response is the fact that he has personally visited Floyd Mayweather's mansion in the past. In previous interviews and podcast appearances, Smith described Mayweather's home as a symbol of success, a powerful testament to what one man can achieve through talent, relentless discipline, and masterful branding.
Mayweather was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand.
Yeah.
He would go into a ring knowing he had no shot at knocking somebody out because his hands were hurt too much, and literally walked in the ring and said, I'm going to embarrass you and humiliate you by showing the world you can't hit me.
However, once Floyd Mayweather transitioned into a new phase of his career, exhibition matches, things began to shift. After retiring from professional boxing, Mayweather returned to the ring not for legacy, but seemingly for the paycheck. His exhibition bout with Logan Paul is a prime example. Stephen A. Smith didn't hold back, openly criticizing the move and calling out the lack of competitive value. Logan Paul, a YouTuber turned amateur boxer, posed no real threat to a fighter of Mayweather's caliber. For someone who once dominated the sport, taking a fight like that didn't reflect greatness. It screamed cash grab.
Talk to me about why you make the decision to drive different colored cars in respective cities.
Spoiled brat.
Oh, just being a brat?
Just being a brat.
The 7 cars that you showed me are in excess of $15 to $20 million.
Let me see what's the number. We go 3 points.
And you don't drive them.
It's close to 15 million. You're right. It's close to 15 million.
When Floyd Mayweather was confronted about Logan Paul's accusations of unpaid earnings during an appearance on the Pivot podcast, he appeared to dodge the question. He downplayed the situation by saying he liked YouTube and insisted that the payment was merely delayed, claiming that money takes time to come through. However, his response came off as evasive, as he tried to frame the issue as a minor holdup rather than addressing the more serious implication of failing to pay what was owed.
If not the greatest boxer in history, he's absolutely sensational. But he retired years ago, and for me personally, I know these exhibition matches are entertaining. I like the one with Conor McGregor, not so much the one with Logan Paul. Looking at these exhibitions and all of that stuff, that little melee and stuff don't matter to me. As far as I'm concerned, it could have potentially been orchestrated. I don't know. But I do know not just anybody should be allowed to be in the ring with Floyd Money Mayweather.
Recent reports have raised serious questions about Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s claims of owning a $42 million portfolio consisting of 62 rental apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. Despite his public statements and social media posts asserting full ownership, investigations are telling a different story. In an Instagram video, Mayweather proudly showed off several apartment buildings, declaring, "All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners." But according to property records reviewed by Business Insider, the ownership of these properties has not changed, casting doubt on the legitimacy of his claims.
Logan Paul, he said you owe him some bread. How you feel about someone making those type of accusations?
That comes with the territory.
Right.
And you got to realize, when you used to getting, to them, that's real money. And I like YouTube because I don't mind getting a YouTube check.
Shit, we getting a YouTube check.
Right.
This is going to be a big YouTube check.
Yeah, so, the money is not coming fast enough. That's why when they say money on the back end, as far as pay-per-view, it take a while, And he shouldn't trip. If he feel like he done great numbers and we done record-breaking numbers, then I understand. Nothing comes right away. Just like I'm still collecting checks from fights 7 to 8 years ago. I'm still collecting checks. Why? Because I made smart moves and I'm my own boss. So they hate when a table is turned
Right.
You know, look how many years they've been owing us money. But we don't ever trip. So now when the tables turn, they say, oh, you owe us something. Be happy with the biggest payday you ever got in your life.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. recently spoke out to dismiss rumors that his $42 million real estate investment had caused financial issues. He claimed that he personally acquired 62 buildings in Manhattan, stating, "I used my own money. No one else is involved in this."
What? You can do the same.
All right. Well, now we're trying to figure out what happened, right, with Business Insider. So according to another update, he did ink a $402 million deal for a Black Spruce portfolio. When he said that it was all his and no one invested, he meant no one was funding his part of the investment but him. And so I think this is something where maybe he owns a piece of this or shares in it, but it hasn't changed hands because the majority owner is still the same owner that it was before. I'm trying to understand what happened with this, but I know there's a story that's circulating, so just putting it out there. Whew, it's a tough one. I'm trying to understand as a real estate person myself what exactly he is communicating when he's saying that he owns this, because they're trying to make it seem like he doesn't, but what it seems like is that he owns shares of these buildings.
However, property records reviewed by Business Insider suggest that the ownership of the buildings Mayweather claimed to have purchased remains unchanged. This has led to speculation that he may have only acquired a minority stake or secured options for future investment rather than full ownership as he claimed. The discrepancy has raised serious questions about the accuracy of his statements and whether Mayweather was misled or is withholding key details about the deal. Celebrated as the highest-paid boxer in history, Floyd Mayweather Jr. built enormous wealth through an undefeated career and masterful self-promotion. Since retiring in 2017, he's continued to flaunt a lavish lifestyle, investing in luxury real estate and high-end possessions. However, reports have revealed that Mayweather has faced major financial setbacks, including a $22.2 million debt to the IRS for unpaid taxes from 2015. That financial burden played a significant role in his decision to return to the spotlight with high-profile exhibition fights.
Yes, Floyd Mayweather has reportedly acquired 62 buildings in Upper Manhattan, spending approximately $402 million. This substantial investment was made through his real estate firm, Vada Properties, and is intended to expand his portfolio in New York City real estate market. Mayweather has expressed that this purchase holds significant personal meaning, reflecting his humble beginnings and desire to provide affordable housing options. He stated, "Growing up, I used to dream about owning just one home by myself. When you work hard, you can achieve anything. However, it's important to note that while Mayweather has announced this acquisition, some reports suggest that property records do not yet confirm a transfer of ownership. Experts speculate that he may have acquired a minority stake with options for future expansion rather than full ownership of all 62 buildings outright. In summary, Floyd Mayweather has publicly claimed to purchase 62 buildings in Upper Manhattan for $402 million, aiming to enhance affordable housing in the area. While these claims have been widely reported, the exact details and confirmation of ownership are still subject to verification. So even ChatGPT is saying, like, that's not official. Whether Mayweather is saying it or not, ChatGPT is saying it's not official. That deal has not gone through.
Stephen A. Smith has repeatedly expressed his unease with Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s post-retirement exhibition matches. While he acknowledged that the fight against Conor McGregor was understandable, given McGregor's background in combat sports, Smith took issue with the exhibitions that followed, particularly those against far less credible opponents. He argued that these bouts, seemingly motivated by quick paydays, run the risk of damaging the legacy Mayweather spent years building through discipline, dominance, and unparalleled success in the ring.
Floyd Money Mayweather up until recently didn't have any money, so Floyd is the highest earning athlete in his career, making over $1.1 billion. And after making a killing, he ended up retiring in 2017. However, he dug himself into a hole after making super lavish purchases like this LA mansion. It was so bad that he actually owed $22.2 million to the IRS, which made him have to come out of retirement to pay that back. Like and follow for more.
In a candid interview, Stephen A. Smith confronted Floyd Mayweather with a pointed question about his priorities, asking whether he valued his legacy more than financial gain. Mayweather's responses, which repeatedly emphasized his business, savvy, and ability to generate massive revenue, led Smith and others to sense a clear shift in focus. It appeared that preserving his boxing legacy had taken a back seat to building his wealth.
The third having any real kind of boxing background. I did not see the fight, although I heard he lost every round and Floyd Money Mayweather was whipping him pretty good. I was not there. I did not see it. I do not know. Here's what I do know, which is where my disappointment comes from. When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. You want to get Conor McGregor in the ring for an exhibition match? All right, that's fine. You know, Conor sold that. It was great marketing. He's not a boxer, but hey, he was a knockout artist in the UFC. I get it. John Gotti III, I don't know anything about him. I'm not trying to disrespect him. And yes, I'm being smart. I'm not trying to disrespect the grandson of a mobster. Fair enough. But what I'm trying to say is this. When you're great, when you're elite, not just anybody deserves to be in your pristine space. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about on the street or anything like that. Boxing is your thing.
Adding more fuel to the controversy, former UFC fighter and analyst Chael Sonnen dropped a bombshell about the Mayweather versus McGregor fight. He claimed the event wasn't nearly as financially successful as it was made out to be. According to Sonnen, many of the empty seats were filled with people planted to make it look like the arena was sold out. Having covered the event live, he called out what he described as a carefully crafted illusion orchestrated by Mayweather's PR team to maintain the image of a blockbuster success.
You made money. You're going to make a hell of a lot more money.
But the main thing is I made smart investments, and I still make millions every month.
Do you care about your boxing legacy?
More than what?
We ain't gonna say more than money. We know better. We're not gonna say more than money. We know better.
More than my family? No. So what's more important? My children. Because when I make this money, you know what? I put my children and my family in a position that they are entrepreneurs. They are bosses. I don't want my kids to have to answer to nobody. So I will take the long road. I will take the bumps and the bruises for them, but for my loved ones.
But fear, it's important to point this out about you. You're not just that way when it comes to your family and your children. You're that way with professional athletes. I know NBA players that have relationships with you. Professional football players that have relationships with you, etc. And the same thing that you just said that you preach to your children and your family, you've been preaching to them. That seems to be a personal mission of yours. Why?
It's about giving back. You know, I don't have to go on record and talk about the things that I do. I don't have to go on record.
Even during an interview with Stephen A. Smith, Floyd Mayweather was directly asked whether he cared more about his legacy or his money. True to his money persona, Mayweather acknowledged earning over $800 million throughout his career. However, he made it clear that his primary focus had always been on building and securing his wealth rather than chasing legacy.
No, Floyd's not going to do MMA, but he is going to box again. He's enjoying this attention. It's been very smart what he did. I think it surprised him. I think he was just going out to have a little bit of fun. I don't think he realized he could get 4 and 5 weeks of headlines out of this, but he does need to box again, for sure. I mean, you call it breaking news, but I will tell you unequivocally right now, Floyd Mayweather does and is planning to box one more time.
and the motivation behind getting into a ring again to box when he said he's retired. Why? Why do it?
Floyd's broke. You got to understand, the only thing more embellished than Floyd Mayweather's pay-per-view numbers is Floyd Mayweather's net worth, and he made a lot of money. But remember this, it does not matter what you made, it matters what you kept, and he is a dum-dum.
So anyone, Floyd's made $1 billion. Floyd has gotten $300 million for Pacquiao, $300 million for McGregor. That might be true, but that money does not exist anymore. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, so Mike Tyson, he did real well too. Evander Holyfield, again, it's not what you made. And don't forget, boxing and MMA math, whatever that number is, you get 30% of. So 30% of $1 billion, he still did really well, but not when you're spending money like that. I mean, that's just the way it works. We've seen a progression of these guys, one after the next, that all end up the same way. And that's broke, and they're just not smart with their money. And, I mean, that's all it comes down to. I'm not even trying to bag on Floyd. Look, he's just not a very bright guy. He's surrounded with even less bright guys. This is the way it works when you're a boxer and you go spend that kind of money. If you ever buy things that cost money to own, you're going to be broke.
Do you think Floyd Mayweather's exhibition matches add to his legacy or take away from it? Is it fair for a retired champion to prioritize making money over taking on real competitive challenges? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's hear what you think.